Hey guys, what's going on? It's RC Knockout. I am back with another video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nolan. In today's video, I have got a much needed upgrade for my 1/16 Traxxas Mini Erevo. Now, what is the upgrade, you might ask? Well, it is this right here. Basically, it's a diff and pinion gear. But these were not cheap. When I mean expensive, these were $43 for one, just for a set. And the worst part, and I'm trying not to complain already, but they better be good because they don't even have the internal gears. I still have to go take the internal gears out of the existing diffs and swap them into this. So I spent 86 bucks. 86 bucks on this upgrade right here, and I still have to go get into the original diffs and get the internal spider gears out and planetary gears and get them swapped into these cases. So that's what I'm doing today, guys. It's a much needed upgrade because this thing it doesn't run under its own power anymore. It's been nothing but problems with the stock diffs. I went through a set on both the front and the rear, replaced them. I think that's what's happened again. Now I'm hoping the internal gears are still fine because we're still going to need to retain those. Let me get the lid off. We got to get the front and the rear bulkheads off and get into this thing to actually install these differentials. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Alright guys, so to begin digging into this machine, we're just going to get started taking stuff apart. I think a lot of these are 2mm. There might be some 2.5 on here. So I'm just going to start taking these out until we can, because we have to get the whole bulkheads off the front and the rear. Because we actually have to get into those differentials. Now, if I didn't point out the part number of these guys, it's part number VXS 9282X02. Now, I'll put a link in the description if I can find them online. But yeah, they were not cheap, and like I said, I could not find any cheaper options that were an upgraded option for diff gears for the 1/16 Erevo. And this is a big investment for an RC that's this size. Like, that's super expensive, I thought. $43 each, and not including the internal gears. I'm like, geez. I don't even remember the last time I used this RC. It's been so long. Alright guys, so looks like we have 4 under here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, and a fifth one right here as well. And those all appear to be 2mm. So we will get those out. And there's also another 2mm right here, guys. Right there. And got that one out. And then this whole front portion comes off like such. Oh, I forgot I zip tied that. I zip tied a huge zip tie to the front to hold that front bumper on. Because it was having so many issues coming off. I think we need to probably take these two. So there's two, one right here and one further up here. Those are 2mm. The nice thing about working on this is, like I said, a lot of the stuff is 2mm. So it makes it pretty easy to just carry like one tool around and just have one tool for, you know, one RC. All right. Okay, so all of this portion comes off, and here's that zip tie that I was talking about. So I had it zip tied through here because I think just to help hold it. I can't remember why I did it, but anyway, I did it for some reason. Set that stuff aside. We're going to tackle this 2mm right here. Got that 2mm out. Then this front piece comes off. We are going to need to undo the shocks. I don't know if we need to undo them at the back, but I'm definitely going to have to undo the shocks up here, guys. Up at these cantilevers, or at the joint. There's one. Alright, guys, and there is 2. Set those aside, and now the shocks. Can I get these out of the way, though? That's the question. I need to access the little screws under here, which I think I can get to that one. Alright, and there's one. Now I need to get to the other one, though. So I need to try to get this one up. Get this one up and out of the way. We can access this 2mm right there. Alright, and got the second one out. Now let's see what else is holding this. I'm assuming one of these is holding it. Probably these two right here and here are probably holding it as well. You know, I just kind of dismantle stuff until it, you know, kind of comes apart. There's one. And there is the second one. I'm going to start taking these hinge pins out. These bottom ones for the front. And the top ones, I think the top ones go all the way through. Let's see. Yep, top ones go all the way through. I can see that our drive shafts are going to have to come off, so those are 1.5 millimeter. The little grub screws that hold the drive shafts on, so right in there. Got to get those undone. May as well do that now. Alright, got one of the grub screws out. I've never been a big fan of working on this RC. I've never really enjoyed it. It's just, all this stuff's kind of intricate and it's all kind of tricky. Let's go ahead and try to get these back ones out. So there's two little ones right here and here that hold the back of the suspension arms on. I'm assuming those are going to need to come out, so may as well make them come out. Oh, there we go. There's one. Those ones are difficult to get out the back. There we go. Now all the suspension arms at this point are just dangling. They're just all free. There is a 2.5 right here. I may as well disconnect the steering linkage. Is it? Maybe it isn't. Maybe that is just a 2 mil. It looks like a 2.5. What do you know? It is just a 2 mil. I thought it was a 2.5. My bad. Got that one undone. What else do we have to undo? I'm thinking it must be these ones. These ones right here that go on the top of these little cantilevers. Those must need to come out, because I don't see anything else that's holding this thing. There's 1, 2, and now all of that's basically disconnected. You know what? It's probably these two right here. I probably have to take these shocks off anyway. I probably have to take those two off. Those are probably holding the, that's probably holding the front bulkhead on. That's the annoying thing when you have to tear apart the whole bulkhead. It's not like you just take a housing piece off. You actually have to tear the whole bulkhead out to access the differential, which is a little bit annoying, but I understand with little machines like this, that's kind of just the name of the game. That's just kind of one of the things you have to deal with. Got one of these out. Let's see if it drops after I get this one out. Got that off. There we go. So that was everything holding it, guys. I think it's just one screw right in here is all that holds it, and that appears to be a 2 millimeter. I think that's all that holds the two halves of the front bulkhead together. And once you get that out, it should come apart. Didn't take too long, but it just feels like a lot of work and a lot of screws to get out just to get to this point. That's part of one of the reasons why I don't like working on this thing. And this will come apart. There, it came apart finally, all the way apart. This is what I've had issues with. I don't know if the teeth are just all chewed up on this, but I'm not getting any power, or maybe it just needs to be shimmed really bad, but for whatever reason, these teeth, they're so small. Look how tiny those teeth are. I just have issues with these front and rear diffs on these little 1/16 machines, and or on this particular 1/16 machine, I should say, and it's just kind of annoying. And now I have to use some very, very tiny, looks like 1.5 mil in order. We got to get the diff gears out, the spider gears, I should say, out from internally. There's one out. Set that there. There's two. All right. Those internal gears, I mean, they look all right, I hope. I don't know, it's hard to tell. So that's what we're working with, guys. There's the internal gears. No idea what diff fluid's in this. It looks like there's hardly any diff fluid in this, if any. I'll probably just put a dab of diff fluid in the new diffs. So right now we're going to go ahead, open up the new differentials. They're universal for both the front and the rear. So, all right, guys. Now I have got the new diff out, and it looks nice. These helical cut ones, hopefully we don't have any issues with these. They better be indestructible for how much they cost, because like I said, they cost an arm and a leg. I don't like working with these little tiny screws, though. I do not. There we go. For the amount of money you pay, you couldn't just put some freaking diff gears in there? Come on. Come on, Hot Racing. For the amount you're paying for that, come on, really? I don't know. I just think that's a lot of money. When you consider how much you're paying for that. Okay, so we got to get all the existing gears out. There's a bunch of little stuff. There's a little O-ring that I'm going to need. And first things first, this little O-ring right here, guys, is then going to go into the new diff, just like that. And then we can put this spider gear through, like such. And that's one part together. But now the internal gears, we have to get these out. How do they come out? Do they just push out? Yeah, they just literally just push out. Here's one of those. And they appear to be intact, so I don't think there's any issues with that. But yeah, you need to get these 3 spider gears basically into this little cup right here. So they kind of just go in like such. But then there's nothing that actually holds them there until you get both sides on. So there's nothing, it just falls to the bottom. So I have to be very, very careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this part right here down onto there like such. And then I'm going to put the little spider gears through. There's 1. There's 2. Alright, and you guys can see kind of how they're sitting in there. That's how they're supposed to sit, but I need to be very careful. I do think I'm probably going to put a dab of thread lock on this. Let's see, I do need one more gear though, don't I? Yep, I need this gear right here, guys. There's a gear that needs to come off the... This is just going to be kind of tricky to get all this stuff apart. That comes apart. I need the O-ring. O-ring on this side as well, guys. Like that. Then we can go ahead and put this then through like such. I might put just the tiniest dab of diff fluid. I mean just like a dab. I don't even know what weight to use. I will actually, I'm going to go off camera real quick, see what I have for diff fluid, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, I am back with you guys, and I found some diff fluid, and I don't really know what spec diff or what weight diff you're supposed to use, what weight diff fluid, but I just have some 30,000 weight. It probably was like 10,000 or something, or I don't know. I'm just going to put a dab in, because there was hardly any in there to begin with, so I'm literally just going to put the tiniest bit just kind of in here. And there we go. I assume there's diff fluid that's supposed to go in here. There's some sort of grease or diff fluid that was already in there, so I assume that's the case. Now you gotta get all these holes lined up, and now you have to get the top portion on. So, okay, I got one kind of in. There's 3. Now I need to try to do this very, very carefully. I'm going to actually spin it to make sure everything's going to spin all right inside right now. Okay. Got diff fluid all over my fingers. Alright guys, we got all 3 of those on. And the diff does seem very difficult to turn. Maybe I wasn't supposed to put that much fluid in, and maybe it wasn't supposed to be 30 weight. I don't freaking know, but I don't really care. As long as it gets this thing moving, that's really all I care about. So we got that one dismantled and the new one together. Now we can start reassembling that front bulkhead. Now I need to remember which way this goes in. Okay, so there, that's in, guys. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Here it now is the new helical cut gear inside of the front bulkhead. Now what we need is we need these little, we need this bearings from the pinion gear. So here's the existing pinion gear right here. Now I need to grab our helical cut one. This is our new one right here. And go ahead and put one bearing on. Then we can put the second bearing on. And then they need to line up with this, so basically like that. And now that's together, guys. Now I can bring the other half of the bulkhead and get the 2 pieces put together. Alright. Looks to be pretty well back together. Now I need to put that super long screw through. This super long screw right here, guys, then goes through this side right here. And that's what holds the two halves of the bulkhead together. Just going to get that in. That is a 2 mil. Alright guys, I decided to finish up all the rest of it off camera. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so then you'll be notified when I come out with another video. Because you're going to want to stay tuned because there's going to be more 1/16 Erevo content. I'm going to obviously have a running video testing this out, testing out these new gears. And at some point, I'm definitely going to take this to the skate park as well. So I will see you guys in another video. Later.